Bregman.
Phil Frederoli.
Ann Devlin, Taliaferro.
Gennaro Riccio.
Ryan Kenny.
Jessica De La Rosa.
Now John Ferguson will read the meeting protocol.
The meeting will be conducted according to parliamentary rules. The President will have the final word on the conduct of the meeting and will cast a vote only in the event the rest of the council reaches a tie. The President will recognize the speaker to make their presentation or statement, and then he will permit the council to ask questions. He will then open the floor to questions from the audience, and each audience member should introduce themselves by name and street address. No person will speak until they have been recognized by the President. All speakers will be confined to the time limits. Voting will be done by ballot. The results of all votes will be announced at the end of the meeting.
Thank you, John. And now, any reports from the offices of local elected officials? I see anybody. I guess not.
They shovel the snow.
No. Now, committee reports, resident parking and traffic. Ryan Kenny.
Sure. A few updates here for resident parking and traffic. As many of you know, there's been a newly appointed Boston Transportation Parking Commissioner, Gina Piandaka, and I've reached out to her to set up a meeting. Hope to meet with her in the next few weeks, just kind of introduce myself and the committee and explain to her what we're all about. There was also 2 recent articles in the Boston Globe related to the parking issue in the city of Boston. They focused on limiting a proposal to limit the number of resident permits for each household, or in the alternative, establishing a fee schedule, meaning if you have more than 2 parking permits for each one after that, they would charge you a rate, maybe a sliding scale. A lot of neighborhoods have implemented that. That's something that the city is looking into currently. Also, I know it's been a very tough January and February for many people parking on the street in the north end. Just a reminder that during snow emergencies, you cannot park on Atlantic Street, Commercial Street, Hanover Street, North Washington Street, or Cross Street. If a snow emergency is declared, you can move your car to the Lafayette Garage for a reduced fee of $10 for 24 hours. And then there's 2, I don't know if you can see it up there on the projector, but there's 2 websites where you can sign up for text message and email alerts for when a snow emergency is declared. Also, the issue of space savers has been a touchy one this winter, with people shoveling out spaces, taking a long time to do it, and then reserving spots. Just a reminder, the city website says you may use space savers for up to 48 hours after a snow emergency is lifted. So by way of example, if a snow emergency is lifted at 6 p.m. on Saturday, you dig out a spot, you can reserve that spot until 6 p.m. on Monday. Anytime after that, the city will come around and collect your dining room chair or air conditioner, whatever you use to save your space. And a reminder, street sweeping resumes on March 1st. I hope to get an answer from the Transportation Commissioner as to whether or not that's actually going to happen, because I think a lot of cars are still going to be buried come March 1st, but I hope to have an answer on that in the next few weeks. And that's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan. Next, public safety. David Marks not here, so Maria Lange will take it.
Okay, so from David's notes, crime is down 40% in A1 since 2014. At the January 15th public safety meeting, there were 5 arrests with various offenses didn't specify. And on the February 5th public safety meeting, there were 2 arrests, 1 assault and battery and 1 breaking and entering, and 2 larcenies. Crime overall has been down because of the snow, so it's kind of good. And there wasn't any complaints about the Patriots Super Bowl celebration, so that was a fair start.
There was 10 towed vehicles.
Oh, and 10 towed vehicles, which I'm sure had to do with the snow emergency.
Thanks, Maria. John, Greenway Committee.
So we have a Greenway, we actually have 2 public meetings, neighborhood meetings coming up. The first is tomorrow at Rose Wharf. It's at 5:30. This is primarily for the Wharf District, but I thought I'd just notify those here and those that may be watching this on Matt's website after that. Our North End community meeting will be here at the Mazzaro at 6:30 on the 25th. It's this Wednesday. So in lieu of any sort of presentations on what's going on in the Greenway, I encourage everyone to come to that meeting. There's a lot of good stuff coming up. Pitchers and catchers have reported, so the spring is coming, and we have a lot of plans for the Greenway concerning art down as we always do, down towards the Rose Wharf, but more specifically the North End parks. There's a lot of improvements that they want to do and a lot of ideas, and this is our opportunity as a community to come and offer your suggestions and thoughts. This will be our 3rd one in that many years. If if you recall, if you were at the first one, we had talked about the lack of shading in some of the north end parks. And since that time, I've implemented a few additional trees as well as some umbrellas. So they do listen, and to the best of their abilities, they do try and fix some things and add to it. But we don't know, and the Greenway doesn't know what's needed or what's required and what's working and what isn't unless we hear from the community. So I encourage everyone to go there. And again, that'll be here at 6:30 on Wednesday.
Thanks, John.
So can I ask him a question?
Sure.
You're representing this council. Are you a voting member or an advisory person? Do you have a vote?
I do. Yeah. But thank you for clarifying that, and that's also important. I mean, obviously, people ask me or tell me what they like and what they don't like, but it's also good to see someone who will be there. So we do have a voice, and Robin Reed, who is new RUS representative, is also there. So there's two folks, and if anything, you have my name and face and number. So.
Thanks, John.